Hello everyone, today our topic is how to write emails from subject line using Google Generative AI. So here my objective is that in Airtable, I'm adding the details like my subject line and the description for my email, and using these details, I'm going to generate email content by using Google Generative AI or Google Gemini. So after generating this email content, I have to send an email to that user, and for that, I have to build a connection between Airtable, Google Gemini and Gmail. So for building this connection, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing software for automation and integration. In Pabbly Connect, I'm going to use Trigger and Action. In Trigger application, I'm going to use Airtable. In Action application, first I'm going to use Google Gemini, and then I'm going to use Gmail. So how I'm going to build this connection? For that, let me take you to my computer screen.
I hope all you can see my computer screen, and today we are going to automatically write and send emails from subject lines by using Google Generative AI or Google Gemini. So writing and sending emails for promotions, marketing and lead generation is a time consuming and a tough job. But now we can do this in minutes by automating this task, and that too without any coding and programming skills. For this, we are just going to use Pabbly Connect, and we are going to use Google Generative AI for generating the content for our email. So here in Airtable, I have all these details like subject line, description for my email, receiver's name, my company name and email address. So by using the subject line and all these other details, I'm going to generate content for my email by using Google Generative AI, and I'm going to automatically send this email by using Gmail. So for that, I just have to build a connection between Airtable, Google Generative AI or Google Gemini and Gmail. And for that, I have to open a new tab and search for pabbly.com. And this will take us to this landing page of Pabbly. Here we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you don't have any account with Pabbly, you can just sign up for free, and it will take only 2 minutes of your time, and you will get 100 of tasks free every month. Or if you already have an account, you can just sign in and you will get to see this page. So these are all the apps that Pabbly offers, and we are going to use Pabbly Connect here. For that, I have to click here on this Access Now button under Pabbly Connect, and this will direct us to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here, this is the workflow section, and we can see all the workflows that we will create here. And this is the folder section. We can create new folder here, and we can save any workflow in any particular folder that we want. Now here, I want to create a new workflow. For that, I have to click here on this create workflow button, and this window will pop up. Here I have to name my workflow. So I'm going to name it as my objective, which is to write emails from subject line using Google Generative AI, and I'm going to select the folder where I want to save my workflow. So I'm going to open this tab, and I'm going to select this Google Generative AI folder, and I'm going to click on create, and this will take us to this most important window of our workflow. Here we have two boxes, trigger and action. So these are the two main principles on which our workflow works on, and trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is going to be the first step that will get executed in our workflow, and action will just follow that. So we have to set up our trigger first, and here my trigger application will be Airtable. So I'm going to select Airtable here. Now I have to give a trigger event. So I'm going to open this tab, and new record will be my trigger event. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to connect Airtable with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I will click on add new connection, and I will connect with Airtable. So for connecting the Airtable, I have to first add a base. So I'll click here on this add a base button. And in this, I have this base of email content. So I'm going to use this. So I have to grant access. So I'm going to click here. And my connection here is successful. Now I have to select the base name and the table. So I have added this particular base. So I only have this particular base. So I'm going to select this. So my base is already selected. And in this base, I have only one table, which is table 1. So I'm going to select this. Now here I have this important note which says to capture the trigger response for the action new records, you will first need to create a field in the table schema with the field name created and set its field type as created time. So this is the important thing that you have to do. So let me take you to Airtable. So in your table, what you have to do is you have to create a new column which has to be named as created, and the field schema should be of created time. So I have already created this column, and here on Airtable, we have all these details. So I'm going to go back to Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to click on save and send test request button. And here we have received this response. In this response, I have the subject line of my email, which is new clothing line is coming soon. And we have this receiver's name, which is dummy user. And this is my company's name, which is Pabbly Connect. And we have this email address to whom I want to send this email, which is dummyuser@pabblytudes.com. and this is the description of my email. So I want a promotional email to my customer that we are launching a new clothing line. So I want to write an email on this description. So I got all these details. Now what I want is I want to use these details and the subject line to generate a content for my email. And for generating the content, I'm going to use Google Generative AI or Google Gemini. So for that, I have to add my actions tab. So in this, my action application will be Google Generative AI. So I'm going to select Google Generative AI and I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and generate content will be my action event. And I'm going to connect Google Generative AI with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I will click on add new connection. And to connect Google Generative AI, I need an API key. And where I'm going to get this API key? For that, you have to first log in into the Google AI Studio and you have to open Google AI Studio. So I'm going to open that by clicking here on this hyperlink. And this will take us to Google AI Studio. Here I have this option of get API key. So I'm going to use this. And in this, I have this API keys. So these are all the API keys and I have to create a new API key. So I'm going to click here on this create API key. And first I have to select the project in which I have to create this API key. So I'm going to click here. So these are all the projects that I have in Google Generative AI. And I'm going to use this Pabbly testing project. So I'm going to select this. And I'm going to create API key in existing project. So I'm going to click here. And it has generated this API key for me. So I'm going to copy this. I will go back to Pabbly Connect and I'm going to paste that here and I will click on save. And I have connected Google Generative AI with Pabbly Connect. Now I have these three tabs here: text, models and methods. So in the text tab, what I have to do is I have to give the prompt. So in the prompt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the prompt to generate an email content by using the details that I have received from Airtable. And by using those details, I'm going to generate a promotional email. So for that, I have to type my prompt here. So my prompt will be, so this is going to be my prompt. So my prompt is write a simple email on the basis of the details I'm providing and avoid using any special characters and also avoid subject line in your content. So I have to give the description, subject line and receiver's name and from name. So I have received all these details from the Airtable. So I'm going to use all those details and I'm going to map those details here. And I'm going to use mapping. So what mapping is a technique through which I can retrieve the data from the previous tabs and the data that is changing will get replaced with the new data in the real time. So for mapping, I have to click here. First, I'm going to map the description. So I'm going to open this response of Airtable. And in this response, I have this description. So I'm going to map this. So this is the description of my email. So I want a promotional email to my customer that we are launching a new clothing line. Now I need the subject line. So similarly, I'm going to open the response of Airtable. This is my subject line, which is new clothing line is coming soon. Now I need a receiver's name to whom I want to send this email. So I'm going to open this response again. And this is my receiver's name. And now I'm going to map the name of my company. So I'm going to open this response. And this is my name of my company. So I'm going to map this. So I have filled all the details that are required. Now I have to select the model. So for selecting the model, I have to open this tab. And in this tab, you will find all the models of Google Generative AI. And we are going to use Model/Gemini Pro. So this is the most latest one. So we are going to use this. And now I have this tab of methods. So in this, I have these two methods, generate content and count tokens. So for generating the content, I have to use generate content. And if I have to count the tokens, then I can use this method of count tokens. So I'm going to use generate content method. Now I have filled all the required details. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on save and send test request button. And here we have received this response. So in this response, we have this particular content. And in this content, I have this email, which is for dummy user. And the email is, dear dummy user, we are excited to announce the launch of our new clothing line. We have been working hard to create a collection of stylish and high quality clothing that is perfect for any occasion. We have everything you need to update your wardrobe, including tops, bottoms, dresses, and outwear. We also have a wide range of accessories such as jewelry, hats, and scarves. You won't want to miss out on new clothing line. Visit our website or store to shop the latest styles today. Thanks, Pabbly Connect. So this is the name of my company and this is the name of my customer. So I'm going to send this particular email and I have generated this content by using Google Generative AI. Now I want to send this email to my customer. So for that, I have to add one more actions tab. And in this, I'm going to use Gmail for sending the email. So I'm going to select Gmail here. And now I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and send email will be my action event. And I'm going to connect Gmail with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect. I will click on add new connection and I will connect with Gmail. And I have to click on continue to give access to my account. And I have successfully connected Gmail with Pabbly Connect. Now for sending the email, I have all these tabs. So first I have to give the recipient email addresses. So I have this email address in Airtable. So I'm going to map this. So I'm going to click here. I will open the response of Airtable. And this is the email address of my receiver. So I'm going to map this. Now if I had any CC or BCC, I would have mapped that. I don't have that. So I'm going to leave this blank. Now I need a sender name. So I'm going to map my company name. So I'm going to click here. I will open this response of Airtable. And this is my company name. So I'm going to map this. Now I need the email subject. So I have received the subject line from Airtable. So I'm going to map that here. So this is my subject line. So I'm going to map this. Now I have to select the email content type. So my email content will be of plain type. So I'm going to select that. Now I need the email content and I have generated this content by using Google Generative AI. So I'm going to use the Google Generative AI response. So I'm going to click here. I will open this response of Google Generative AI. So this is my email content. So I'm going to map this. Now in my email, if I had to send any attachment, I can fill that too. And I have to give that file name, but I don't want to send any attachments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on save and send test request button. And here we can see I have received this response. So this is a positive response and this means that I have sent an email automatically to my customer and I have generated the content of that email by using Google Generative AI and I have sent this email automatically to my customer. Now to check this, I'm going to open my Gmail account. I will go to send emails. So here I have sent this email. So I'm going to open this and in this email we can see I have sent this email to dummy user. And this was the email content that we have generated by using Google Generative AI or Google Gemini. And I have used the generated content to send an email to my customer or to my receiver. So here I'm automatically writing and sending emails to my customer or anyone that I want to send this emails to. And I'm generating content for my email by using Google Generative AI. So here I have built this connection between Airtable, Google Gemini or Google Generative AI and Gmail in such a way that whenever I will add a new row in my table in Airtable with subject line and other details, then automatically I'm using these details and I'm generating content for my email by using Google Generative AI. And then I'm sending an email automatically to that customer or receiver that I want to send this email to. Now let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And here we have built this connection between Airtable, Google Generative AI and Gmail. And by building this connection, we are writing and sending emails from subject lines using Google Generative AI and Gmail. Now let's summarize what we did here. So first I have set up my trigger and my trigger application was Airtable and my trigger event was new record. Then I have set up my action steps and my first action application was Google Generative AI and my action event was generate content. And in my last action application, I have used Gmail and my action event was send email. So this is how I have successfully created this workflow and you can also create this workflow by following all the steps that I did in my workflow. And I'm also going to put the link of my workflow in the description so you can check it out from there. And thank you for watching this video.
Not just these applications, you can automate and integrate a lot more applications like this using Pabbly Connect. If you need any help or if you have any doubt, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can post them at forum.pabbly.com, or if you have any issue with the pricing of Pabbly, you can connect on this link. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.